Well, I don't really know. He's got a different philosophy. He's a little bit different. I give him a lot of credit for the run. He did a successful run, and we all know that runs are not easy. But I think we'll get along fine.
New York City's newly elected mayor, Zohran Mamdani, will meet with President Trump in the Oval Office just a short while from now. This as the incoming head of business group Partnership for New York City is sounding the alarm about Mamdani's proposed corporate tax hikes. Lauren Simonetti joins us with much more. Hey, Lauren.
Oh, to be a fly on the wall in that meeting in the next 2 hours. So this is Stephen Fulop. He's not mincing words when it comes to Zohran Mamdani's policies, posting on X this. This proposal is absolute suicide for New York City. Even if he believes companies won't move, what remains 100% indisputable is they certainly won't create a single new job in New York City. What Mamdani wants to do is bring New York's corporate tax rate from 7.3% to 11.5%, guys. That means the Big Apple would tie New Jersey as the state with the highest corporate taxes. And New York City adds nearly 9% in payroll taxes on top of that to do things like fund public transportation that nobody takes. Mamdani says this is actually good for business.
By raising the top corporate tax on corporations that do business here, as opposed to just ones that are headquartered here, we'd find that this would raise the funding to make this city more affordable, which would also make it easier for those corporations to attract the top talent, who right now they're having a struggle to do so because of how expensive the city is.
Of course, Mamdani's proposals need New York Governor Kathy Hochul's signature, and he just might get it. Hochul is up for re-election next year. She says she will not raise income taxes on high earners, but she might be open to tax hikes on businesses. She needs to close New York's $4.2 billion budget gap. And because there's no such thing as a free lunch, guys, companies could be on the hook for all of these pricey campaign promises like free buses and childcare. So in less than 2 hours, we'll see what President Trump really thinks about all this.
Lauren, thank you so much for that. Whatever we think is going to happen, we have no idea. Right. And I'm just so excited to watch this because
you don't own a business here?
No. Hey, I got something for you. I don't have the video clip, but Mamdani, what's today? The 21st? So a couple of days ago, posted this video of him in a bodega. And it's actually a very well-produced video, not a shocker there. But he's talking about making it faster, easier, cheaper for small businesses to start and stay in business. And he goes through this long list of things that he's going to do about regulations and red tape. And he sounded like a conservative. I'm not joking. It was crazy.
To make it easier for them.
Yeah, to make it easier for small businesses in New York, about how important it was for like just the bodega owner and operator, how that is just the fabric of New York City. And I was like, okay.
I saw it and I thought that the same thing as you. I said, we have a bait and switch here or something going on.
Yeah, I was like, it's not wine time for me.
Right.
I mean, it's middle of the day. I perfectly.
Meaning you're not drunk when you're hearing
thank
this.
you.
Here's the only thing I heard in his soundbite. I don't want to tax businesses who are headquartered here, i.e. J.P. Morgan and everybody on Park Avenue, but I want to tax the businesses who do business here. And so if you're thinking about opening up a retail business, if you're Burlington Coat Factory or any other business out on the street, I just want to tell you that your real estate costs are going to be higher, your labor costs are going to be higher because we're going to raise the minimum wage, and then on top of that, you're definitely going to make no money. So Gavin Newsom is essentially, this is a preview to the Gavin Newsom movie.
Why
is that what it is? It's hard to do business in California because of all the taxes. Now you're going to do the same thing here?
Can I ask you a question, Brian? But I don't want to step on your toes. Oh, side-eye.
You're in a mood today.
Marcus.
Yes.
Is it better for him to get all these policies through? Let's raise the corporate tax rate to match New Jersey at 11.5% and have businesses struggle and leave, so then people more quickly wake up that socialism doesn't work? Or is it better to like get a one or two policies here, but Kathy Hochul poo-poo some of the other crazy ideas. The city like kind of survives because things get worse, but only marginally. And then people still think like, oh, well, it's not that bad. You kept telling me it would implode. And the city hasn't imploded. And not every business is fleeing. So socialism sounds really good.
Let's take socialism out for a minute. I haven't seen the video in the bodega, but if he was able to demonstrate where costs could be removed from your business, and then there could be other costs imported into your business, but the net would be neutral or positive, and you can do that in a step-by-step process, I think you'll get business owners to support it. But you have to give them a few wins, and until you give them wins, telling them that you're going to make it more expensive is just not a good idea. Give them 1 or 2 wins. Bring that video to life and execute some of those things and take away some of those regulations and say, hey, I gave you $2, I'm going to need 80 cents back. People will be like, okay, I'm still ahead.
So this thing about reducing the regulations and red tape and all this, I didn't see the video, but I believe that's what he said. Does he realize that if he really wanted to do that, he would have to fire bureaucrats who work for the city, who create this red tape and who enforce these regulations? He would have to reduce the power of all these departments in the city that oversee these regulations. In other words, he would have to go after the very people who are the power base of what he wants to do in order to become this new kind of Zohran. There is no way that when the day comes that I see that 10% of the New York City workforce has been laid off, then I will believe you that he wants to actually cut red tape and reduce regulation. But he will never do it because he'll never fire those people.
The affordable base isn't the regulators. The affordable base is the admin or the person working on the front lines, on the streets, protecting the streets. The regulatory red tape, he could probably get some unification around eliminating bureaucracy. I don't think that's the base.
Yeah, I agree. I saw that video and I thought to myself, what is he trying to do here? What is his master plan? And I'm not really sure. I think we need more from him, like the stock market when it's selling off. Like, you need 5 or 6 days to kind of think to yourself, what exactly is happening here? And I'm not sure what his game is. I agree with you, Marcus. I think that he has an opportunity here to make some headway. Is he trying to do some things that he know will stabilize the city so that he doesn't make it implode, so that this socialism thing becomes a little bit more long-lasting? Certainly, I was joking. I don't think it's a bait and switch. I don't think he put a hat on and decided he was a conservative or something. I just think that he's realizing for him, it's all about money and power. How do I hold on to my money and my power the longest that I possibly can? And if he's got to do some things that for him feel a little icky, I think he will.
There is no regulation or red tape is his power. Like, that's what he wants to do more of. He wants to freeze rent. How do you do that? Through regulation. He wants free buses. How do you do that? Through regulation. He's not going to get rid of
But I don't really think he wants all those things that he promised the stupid masses when they went to the polls to vote for him.
Oh, he's not going to deliver on free buses. Okay, that may be.
If it's not holding on to power, it's more power.
Okay.
It's a bigger job. I'm asking. But he wants to rise up the ranks.
Yeah.
So you can't destroy the city if you want to be elected to an even higher office.
You'd be shooting yourself in the foot. So
2 things real quick. 1, he has a budget problem. You got to take out costs. And so you're talking about getting rid of bureaucracy. You're taking out costs. 2, where's he at 3 p.m. today?
at the White House.
And the person in the White House wants less regulations. He's going to find a way to get a couple of sound bites where him and the president are going to be like, we can agree on that. We can agree that New York has too much regulation. Mm-hmm. He will get him to agree to one thing, and that will be his takeaway.
The guy who said Donald Trump, we're going to stop him in every borough in the city, is going to want a video with him agreeing with Donald Trump? Okay, I'll believe that when I see it.
We'll watch it happen at 3 o'clock. Tune in.